Hey there, Shawn. This is Sarah Nadler, and if you're watching this video, you've already been at the workshop, and I'm going to show you a couple of things you could do to improve your website and your Facebook page starting this week using the stuff that we learned at the workshop itself. So we're going to head on over to your website now and take a look. Now, the first thing that I noticed right away is you got an excellent web address up here at the top. When it comes to web address, we want it to be short and punchy, and we also want it to be easy to remember. And you've got both of those nailed down. The next thing I look for is a professional design that really matches your practice. So you got an excellent logo here. It's really quite unique. And the rest of your website matches that logo in terms of color scheme and branding very, very well. So that was also really well done. The next thing I look for is what's called a call to action button. This right here is your call to action button. It is above the fold. The fold is the point on a website where we have to scroll to see more. We always want that call to action button to be above the fold. And you've got not only one, but two call to action buttons, both sending someone to the same place. So that's fantastic. The next thing I look for is a clickable phone number at the top of the homepage. This is really for current clients retention, but it also will help your new clients as well when they're trying to just figure out how to ask you a question that maybe is not immediately obvious on the website itself. So that's really great. The next thing I look for is the doctor's name and keywords on the homepage. This is for the purposes of SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it's basically the strategy we use to get you organic traffic from places like Google or Bing or Yahoo, these different search engines. We want when people type in your name or when they type in a certain keyword like pet or veterinarian, we want your website to pop up first. That's the game of playing SEO. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through your homepage and see if I can find your name mentioned anywhere. And as you can see, it's not popping up. I do have the names of some of your staff, but your name is not mentioned on the homepage itself. So this is going to be hurting your SEO because oftentimes we find when a person refers to their doctor, they often refer not to the practice name, but actually to you as the practice owner. They'll say, go see my doctor, Dr. McCorkle. So what we want to do is have your name on the homepage to make it super obvious that they've landed in the right place, and also so that Google and these other search engines can crawl your page and find that that's what they should show first when someone types in your name into Google. This is very, very important because we obviously want as many referrals coming to you as possible because that reduces our necessity to run paid advertising. So that's probably the first thing that I would change about your website is just make sure your name is mentioned a couple of times there on the homepage and frequently throughout the rest of the website, you and any doctors or associates that you have. Now, the next thing I'm going to look for on this website is, does the homepage really direct people where to go? Is it easy to navigate? And as we can see here, it does, right? Depending on whether I'm a cat owner or a dog owner, it immediately tells me where to go to answer my question. That's really fantastic. The other thing I look for is it obvious where I can go to give you my name and email address? And this is another thing that's quite missing from your website. If we go to request an appointment, it immediately asks if we're already a member. We want to make it easy for new clients to figure out how to contact you, especially if they're not quite ready to book an appointment yet. At the workshop, I talk a bit about the marketing relationship that we need to be building with people, right? So when a client first lands on your website, they've never heard of you before. We need to really nurture them along and move them through the psychological process to actually want to become a client. And that's something that's kind of missing from your website right now, is how to take that baby first step if I'm not quite ready to actually book an appointment yet. This is using things like lead magnets or other sales strategies that kind of nurture the person along, just like I talked about in the workshop. So that's something you could definitely also add to this website that would probably bring you a lot more clients than you're getting now. The next thing I look for is this website mobile friendly? I did check it on my phone and it is, which is excellent. And then I look for an About Us page with staff photos because they want to get to know your team, and that can really build a lot of trust before they even walk in the door. So you've got a great support staff with photos as well as their full bio for each person, and that is also really fantastic. The next thing I look for is testimonials, particularly on the homepage. And as you saw right there down at the bottom, you do have a nice scrolling thing that gives them testimonials from other clients. That also helps build trust and is a very good thing to have. Next, I look for just, is there any use of video on the website? I didn't see a lot of video, so that's another area that you could possibly improve this website. But this right here is very dynamic as a video, and that's a great first step. Next, I look for use of PR. So this would be press, news appearances, things of that nature to build trust. In terms of building trust, you have Fear Free and AHA, which is fantastic for those clients who are already familiar with what those are. But getting your name into big news media, particularly local news or names that people who are interested in becoming a client have probably already heard of, places like Forbes magazine or the local newspaper, the local TV station, those are going to do even better for you than these, because these are only things that someone who's already familiar with that would probably be aware of. The typical client may never have heard of AHA. The next thing I look for is a contact us page. And again, this is to help nurture anyone who hasn't quite made that decision yet to book an appointment. And I couldn't find any contact us page on your website. So that's another huge place you could probably get a lot more new clients by creating that contact us page and putting testimonials and photos and things like that to really optimize it for conversion. And lastly, I look for connections to your social media pages. And I did find that. So let's head on over to Facebook and we'll do the same kind of analysis there. So when it comes to Facebook, the things we look for are, first and foremost, again, a good handle up here at the top. So it's easy to remember, easy for people to find you online. And you did very well with that. The next thing I look for is cover art that matches your practice. And this is just fantastic. I could not have done anything better. Next, I look for the profile art. That's this little thing right here, and it's the very first thing anyone's going to see if they search you in Facebook. This will pop up with your name. So you got a really clear name here, and you even managed to fit in your logo as well as a picture of yourself. So that was really well done as well. The next thing I look for are the posts themselves. How often are you posting and what are you posting? And when it comes to what you're posting, I'm looking for a couple of different things. The first thing is having your brand voice expressed in a non-salesy way. And you're doing a really good job of that by posting things like this, where you're saying Happy Valentine's Day, connecting with people with giving value posts, and just some nice, lovely, very on point posting that's been going on here. Some great pictures, etc. So that you're doing really, really well. What I don't see a lot of is clickable links to call to action in the post. So obviously you're asking for engagement and it does look like you're getting a little bit, but there's no link to take them to your website. And in fact, as I went through here all the way back to January 1st, I couldn't find a single post that linked back to your website. So it looks like right now, this social media is mostly being used for client retention and not to gain you new clients. But that right there is somewhere we could improve, because social media is obviously a very great way to get new clients in a very cheap manner. So that's something we definitely would want to work on. The next thing I look for is use of video testimonials by your clients. This is something you should definitely be asking the clients who love you to do. I did see quite a bit of use of video on social media, which is great, but it doesn't look like any of it is generated by the client and tagging you. So that is something we also want to look for more. I also looked for lead magnets. Again, finding ways to get people onto your email list or to give you some kind of contact information so you can turn them into a client. And it doesn't look like that's being done on social media either. The next thing I look for is talking about referrals on your social media, because you have to remember the majority of people who come to your social media page are going to be current clients. And what that means is we have an opportunity here to generate new clients by asking for referrals on your social media sites. So that's another thing that I noticed was not there at any place I could see on Facebook, and it's something you should definitely be pushing some more of. And then next, I look for advertising, because advertising is a primary way you're going to get new clients from social media. And again, when I go up here to your page transparency, it tells me that this page is not running any ads. Social media ads are the cheapest form of ads you can possibly find. So that's, again, somewhere that we might want to improve in order to get you more new clients. And then lastly, I look for whether or not you are doing a regular analysis of the engagement and the click-through rate on your website and also on your social media. So just looking at the analytics, putting those analytics on your dashboard, like the number of clicks, the conversion rate, things of that nature, which we talked about in the workshop, right? Really keeping track of those and use my stats will also help boost how many new clients you're getting, because you're analyzing each month and actually making smart business decisions based off of it. So that's all I have for you this time. I hope that was really helpful. And if you have any questions, ask me in the workshop and I will be more than willing to help you out. If there's anyone else who sees this video and is interested in learning more about getting a digital footprint analysis, reach out to us at silkinmanagementgroup.com.